Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. Today, I want to make a short video to introduce to you a subject called social psychology. The reason why I'm making this video is twofold. First, it is a subject which I'm very much interested in. Second, this is a subject that is closely related to what I teach, which is, as you know, sociology. For those of you who have been following me, social psychology is actually not a new subject on my channel. In some of my recent videos, I talked about how we get attracted to each other and form relationships. I talked about how beauty plays an extremely important role in our romantic relationships. All of these topics fall under the subject of social psychology. There is still another reason why I'm making this video today, and that is I will create more in the future in the area of social psychology. So I think now is a good time to make a video specifically explaining what it is all about. As I said, social psychology, which is a branch of psychology, has a lot in common with the subject that I teach, which is sociology. Both sociology and social psychology are social sciences, as opposed to natural sciences, because they are both about society and not about nature. Both of them are concerned with human behavior. Both of them study how people behave in a social context. What sets them apart, however, is their different emphasis. Sociology is more focused on group behavior, whereas social psychology is more focused on individual behavior. Now, if you needed a short definition, I will define it this way. Social psychology is the scientific study of how individuals think, feel, and behave in a social context. Let me break it down and take a closer look at each of the keywords in this short definition, because these keywords describe the most important concepts of social psychology. First of all, social psychology is a science. We know that there are many approaches to understanding how people feel, think, and behave. For example, we can learn about human behavior from novels, films, history, and even philosophy, to name just a few. What makes social psychology different from these artistic and humanistic approaches is that social psychology is a science. We know that science is all about discovering, whereas art is all about creating. As a science, social psychology aims at discovering those principles which guide human behavior. Like other social scientists, social psychologists do their job by applying scientific methods to the study of the human behavior. Those methods include observations, experiments, surveys, case studies, and so on and so forth. By applying these scientific methods, social psychologists collect empirical data rather than anecdotal, analytical, or theoretical data. Empirical evidence is essential to social psychological discoveries and theories. Secondly, social psychology is concerned with how individuals think, feel, and behave. These three keywords, think, feel, and behave, cover a wide array of things, including our beliefs and attitudes. They also cover our most passionate emotions. Because of this, social psychology differs from other social sciences such as economics or political science because their focus is narrower. Also, the word individual is particular with social psychology. It points to another important way in which social psychology differs from other social sciences. Sociology, for instance, typically classifies people in terms of their nationality, race, socio-economic class, and other group factors. Sociologists study people's behavior in relation with those groups. In contrast, social psychology typically focuses on what is going on in the mind of the individual. Even when social psychologists study groups of people, they usually emphasize the behavior of the individual in the group context. The third key words are social context. Here is where the word social in social psychology comes into play and how social psychology is distinguished from other branches of psychology. In general, psychology is a big subject, which is concerned with everything from the actions of neurotransmitters in the brain to the actions of voters in a political campaign. As I said at the beginning, what makes social psychology unique is its emphasis on the social nature of individuals. Social psychologists believe that an individual will think, feel, and behave differently when together with other people than when he or she is alone. For example, you may do things when you are alone at home that you would not dream of doing in public. However, the social aspect of social psychology should not always be taken literally. Social psychologists sometimes examine non-social factors that affect people's thoughts, emotions, motives, and actions. For example, they may study if hot weather causes people to behave more aggressively. What is social about this kind of study is that people's social behavior is different under different weather. People may stick together more or may hurt each other more in different weather conditions. In addition, social psychologists also study people's thoughts or feelings about non-social things. For example, if a certain brand of product is endorsed by a celebrity, social psychologists may study how such endorsement affects people's attitudes towards that product, including their feelings, thoughts, and behavior. Another thing to keep in mind about the phrase social context in this definition is that it does not have to be real or present. Even the implied or imagined presence of others can have important effects on individuals. For example, we always cup our nose when we sneeze, even though no one is physically present at the time. Another example, you may decide not to cheat on a test because you imagine how disappointed your professor would be if they find out. First of all, don't assume that social psychology is only for college students. In my opinion, every one of us should study or at least learn about social psychology. As a matter of fact, the value of social psychologists' perspective on human behavior is being recognized by more and more people and in all walks of life. That's because the principles, theories, and research findings from the field of social psychology can be used to solve all kinds of real-world problems. It can help address issues in various areas such as health, education, law, and most importantly for many people, human relationships. For example, the study of social psychology can help health department people and health care providers better understand individual behavior under different social norms and social influence so that they can better design health campaigns to promote healthier lifestyle and behavior such as exercise, diet, and even smoke cessation. In the legal area, social psychology can be helpful in the criminal justice system because it helps lawyers and judges make better decisions when it comes to jury selection and eyewitness testimony evaluation. A broad knowledge of social psychology also helps them recognize the influence of prejudice, stereotypes, and social biases in legal proceedings. At workplace, social psychological principles can help managers and human resources department to design plans to improve organizational culture and employee morale. For example, according to many studies, when an understanding of social psychology is required for all employees, workplace harassment and discrimination is effectively reduced. What is most important and most interesting for most of us is perhaps the fact that social psychology is useful in interpersonal interactions. And there are several reasons. First, a knowledge of social psychology helps us better understand ourselves, such as our identity, our self-esteem, and our personality. For example, how we have become a shy person or an easygoing person. Does it have to do with our parents, friends, or is it because of our genes? Secondly, it helps us understand how others see us and what others are thinking, feeling, and doing, so that we can better interact with them. For example, why we tend to make friends with people whom we think are physically more attractive. Thirdly, it helps us understand how social interactions shape our self-concept and perspectives. Finally, it helps us understand how interpersonal relationships affect our behavior. For example, why is there peer pressure and why we need to feel we are accepted by our peers? In a word, social psychology helps us live a better life among family members, friends, co-workers, etc. by developing people skills. As I mentioned earlier, I have made a few videos in the field of social psychology. For example, one video was about how people get attracted to each other and form relationships. Another video was about how beauty plays a role in intimate relationships. If you are interested, please check them out on my channel. I will be making more videos discussing various topics in the area of social psychology in the future. One of them will be about personality. In that video, I will be talking about how you have become what you are now. I'm sure these videos will be very interesting, very informative, and very useful. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.